While we all possess the ability to grow and shape who we become as individuals, it's undeniable that our childhood experiences play a significant role in laying the foundation for how we relate to the world and the people in it. From an early age, the way we interpret situations, manage emotions, and interact with others begins to form based on the environment we're raised in and the dynamics we observe. Marriage and family therapist Dr. Milan and Kay Yurkovich identified a concept they call love styles. These are deeply ingrained behavioral patterns that stem from our upbringing and influence how we engage with romantic partners. Understanding your love style can offer valuable insight into your strengths, insecurities, and how you tend to behave in intimate relationships. Let's explore the 5 love styles defined by Dr. Milan and Kay Yurkovich in more depth. The first type is known as the pleaser. Individuals with this love style typically grow up in households where a parent may have been excessively critical, emotionally unpredictable, or highly protective. As children, pleasers learn to prioritize being good, obedient, and agreeable in an effort to avoid triggering negative reactions. Instead of being nurtured themselves, they often assume the emotional role of caretaker, trying to manage or soothe their parents' moods. Conflict becomes deeply uncomfortable for them, and in adulthood, pleasers tend to avoid arguments, often conceding quickly or doing whatever it takes to keep the peace. Saying no can feel almost impossible, and they may find themselves stretching the truth to sidestep confrontation. Pleasers are hyper-aware of the emotions and needs of others, often to the point of neglecting their own. They strive to please everyone, but in doing so, can lose touch with their own boundaries and eventually feel overwhelmed or even trapped. For pleasers to build lasting and fulfilling relationships, they must learn to recognize and honor their own feelings instead of constantly chasing the expectations of others. The second love style is called the victim. Those who fall into this category often grow up in chaotic, unpredictable, or even violent family environments. In order to survive emotionally, victim children learn early on to become invisible, minimizing their presence and needs to avoid drawing attention. They often withdraw into their imagination as a coping mechanism, creating mental escapes to deal with the fear and unpredictability they face. As adults, victims may struggle with low self-esteem, chronic anxiety, or depression. Their early experiences may lead them to unconsciously seek out controlling partners who echo the dynamics they experienced at home. They become used to adapting to others, going along with situations even if it compromises their well-being. Ironically, they often feel more comfortable in turbulent environments, since calm and safety can feel unfamiliar or suspicious. To develop healthier relationships, victims need to rediscover their self-worth, advocate for themselves, and recognize that they deserve love and respect, not submission or silence. The third type is known as the controller. Children who grow into controllers often come from homes where guidance and protection were scarce. To compensate, they develop a tough exterior and rely solely on themselves, convincing themselves that staying in control is the only way to feel safe. For controllers, vulnerability is equated with danger, so they go to great lengths to suppress it. However, they often don't view anger as a weakness and may use it to assert authority or prevent feeling exposed. This can manifest as rigidity in thinking, stubborn routines, and an unwillingness to trust others. Their need for control can become exhausting both for themselves and their partners. They frequently believe that if things aren't done their way, chaos will ensue. To nurture a loving and balanced relationship, controllers need to practice letting go of control, allow others to share responsibility, and develop trust in the emotional strength of their partner, rather than relying solely on their own force of will. The fourth style is the vacillator. These individuals often grow up with emotionally inconsistent caregivers, parents who might be affectionate one moment and distant or neglectful the next. This inconsistency leads vacillators to develop an intense fear of abandonment and an inner craving for connection. However, when that connection is finally offered, they often feel too emotionally raw or resentful to accept it. As they mature, vacillators yearn for perfect love and idealize relationships in the beginning stages. But when the inevitable imperfections appear, they feel disappointed, let down, and emotionally triggered. Their relationships are marked by highs and lows, and they frequently feel misunderstood or emotionally unsafe. Vacillators are highly intuitive and emotionally perceptive, often sensing subtle shifts in their partner's mood or attention, which can reinforce their insecurities. To form stable and rewarding bonds, vacillators must learn to temper their expectations, take time to build trust, and embrace the natural ups and downs that come with real intimacy. Lastly, the fifth love style is the avoider. Avoiders are raised in households where emotions are not openly discussed, and independence is heavily emphasized. As children, they often learn to manage their own needs early on, suppressing feelings in order to remain functional in environments that lacked warmth or responsiveness. Emotional distance becomes their default, and as adults, they tend to value autonomy over connection. While they may seem calm and rational, their reluctance to engage emotionally can hinder closeness in relationships. Intense displays of emotion in others may feel threatening or uncomfortable, prompting them to retreat or shut down. For avoiders to grow in love and connection, they need to step out of their emotional isolation, learn how to communicate their inner experiences, and allow vulnerability to be a bridge rather than a threat. Each of these love styles carries its own unique set of challenges and strengths, shaped by early life experiences and internal coping strategies. Identifying which patterns resonate with your own behavior can be a powerful first step toward healing and growth. Whether you see yourself in one style or recognize traits across multiple categories, the most important part is using this awareness to nurture healthier connections, with others and with yourself. Understanding how your past has shaped your responses doesn't define your future, it simply equips you with the insight needed to build it with greater intention and compassion.